So we're moving on to the second part now, our second segment, continuing with riders where we left off. So looking at some of the other riders that are available. So one of the riders that is another popular one is called residual rider. And whenever you hear the term residual rider, I want you to think about percentage, because this rider deals with the percentage that the person has lost. Generally, this rider is active when the person has lost anywhere between 20 to 80% of their pre-disability earnings, right? So then they're able to exercise this rider. So in order to put it a little bit more, make it a little bit more clear, let's go through an example. So let's say we have someone who was earning a pre-disability income. Let's go with Tom. Tom was earning a pre-disability income of $10,000. After he gets disabled, maybe he's not able to work as much, put in less hours. So it's changed, and now he is earning $5,000. So post-disability, he's earning $5,000. So the first thing we need to do in order to see if this rider applies is to see what is the percentage loss. So he's gone from 10,000 to 5,000. So here his income has gone to half. So he has a 50% loss here in his income from pre-disability to post-disability. And also another thing that the question will give you, if we're looking at examples, it will give you this information and this information. Now, what is the total amount? Let's say Tom is totally disabled. He's sitting at home, can't earn anything. How much is this disability benefit going to give him? And the question will give it to you. For our example, we're going to say it's $5,000. So that's for total disability. That means that if he's completely not doing anything, not earning anything, he will get $5,000. But in our example, he is earning something. He's earning half of what he earned before. So he has a 50% loss. Now, what do we need to do in order to figure out how much he's going to get from his disability? So this is a great rider to add on, because it doesn't mean that even if, it's not that either he's earning or he's not earning, even if the fact that his earnings have been cut into half is going to be taken into consideration. So because he has a 50% loss, the rider is going to pay him 50% of whatever his total disability would have been. So if he was totally disabled, he was going to get 5,000, but because he's not totally disabled, he has 50% loss and not 100% loss. So he will get 50% of that. So that means he's going to get $2,500 from his rider. So if the question is asking how much he's going to get from his disability income, we know that he will get $2,500. If the question is asking what is his total income, then we're going to add whatever his post-disability income is, plus what he's getting from the disability income. So his total that he is getting now after his disability is $7,500. Okay, so if he lost, it depends on how much loss he had. If he had a 60% loss, he would be getting 60% of this. If he had a 70% loss, he would get 70% of whatever the total is, right? So this is why the percentage is important. We have to figure out how much of a loss did he get, and then that's the number that's the percentage he would get from the total disability. All right, another thing to remember with residual disability rider is that it's not something that everyone can take. With disability policies and riders, they're kind of selective of who gets what. So this is something that's for white collar workers, for high-end professionals. When we say white collar workers, we're talking about those doctors, lawyers, those types of professions, which are considered high-end, and it's considered the different sort of field of occupations, right? So this would be offered to that class of occupations and that sort of group of individuals. For someone who is a blue collar worker, now these are individuals who work more with their hands, maybe construction workers, those types of workers, because they're seen as a more risky sort of an occupation rather than somebody who's a lawyer. So the duties of both of those occupations are very different. So the insurance company offers them different products, right? So they would be able to get the partial disability rider. It's similar to residual, so you would get 50% of your benefit, but it's not so luxurious where it gives you exactly the loss that you had, right? So it is a little bit of a difference, but there is that option available for the blue collar workers as well. And the next rider we're going to talk about today is called the ROP, which stands for Return of Premium Rider. And this is a rider for someone who wants to get the disability policy but is skeptical. So they feel, because premiums are expensive, they're not cheap. So they feel that instead of just paying so much in premiums, instead of paying, I don't know, $4,000 a year in premiums, why don't I just take that money, put it into a bank account, and I can use that if I need to? Because unlike life insurance, which is guaranteed to pay a benefit because everybody is going to pass away, so that benefit is guaranteed to come at a certain time, disability policies are different because you may or you may not get a benefit, right? So you pay premiums, but what if you're one of those lucky people, you know, God blessing, and don't have any disability, so you don't need to collect a benefit. But some people feel that that's a waste of money because you're paying premiums for so many years and there's a chance that you may never actually get a benefit, right? So what happens to all that money? You're just kind of throwing it down the drain. So this rider comes in handy for those people who are worried that they are wasting their money and they may never get a benefit. So this is a return of premium rider. And how this works is that if you don't make any claims, so let's say you have your policy for 30 years and you make no claims, then the insurance company will refund the premiums up to 75%. So depending on the company, but it's usually a 75% refund, tax-free, because it's your premiums, it's your after-tax dollars. So they refund that back to you tax-free. So even though you still may have a 25% loss, it's much better than having the full 100% loss. So if you, over the years, let's say you've put in, you know, $10,000 in premium, so you know that, okay, 7,500 you will still get back. So you're getting back something. The catch with this rider is that you have to have the policy for at least 8 to 10 years, right? You can't have it for 3 years, cancel, and say, give me my premiums back, right? So it is for someone who's actually wanting to buy. It's not someone who's wanting to buy and cancel after a couple of years. So it is a long-term sort of a commitment they're looking for. But it's a great way to sort of ensure the client that even though they may never collect the benefit, they can still get some of that money back. So they're not wasting their money. All right, so we're going to continue on with riders. Just going to switch over to the next bunch of riders that we're looking at.